How's it going, everybody? Welcome back again to my single player world where we are starting off fresh again. And it's great. It feels awesome because this area is complete. We did our world tour in the last episode. It went well. And of course, now it's time to just get started on a brand new project where we don't have to worry about anything we have to do in the past. We just have to do stuff going forward, which is great. So kicking things off, we are going to be working on our brand new harbor, which we are going to be putting in right over here. This is custom, by the way. I've cleared out this area just to be able to fit everything in, and there's probably going to be a lot of changes, you know, these sorts of things, depending on where we put stuff. I mean, if we put a big building in there, which I don't have any plans for, but say for instance we did, that's going to change. So it's kind of rough. Today, hopefully we'll soften it a little bit, and then as we go on, it'll just get more and more soft and perfect. So we're going to start off with the things that I think everyone kind of jumps to, myself included, and I want to avoid, because if I can kind of put out the stuff that I want to avoid in the beginning, it means that I won't make these mistakes going on further. So this is what I see docks look like all the time, and I do have a bit of a habit of trying to change things for no apparent reason, which is what we are probably doing right now. But this right here, literally what we're doing right now, is building something because I don't want to build it. That is the actual, what is wrong with me? Why am I doing this? Okay, you know what? Let's just carry on. All right, we don't want to build this. So I'll just build it up here and I'll show you what I'm not building. So there, all right? So you think docks. Wow, great. Let's put some docks in. Bam. I've done that too many times, and I don't want to do that. I think that's too simple, and it doesn't suit my idea of how this place is going to be looking. Now, luckily for us, I've already built the docks, and they work well, and we're going to be putting them in here. So you may be thinking, where did I build these docks? In a creative world? No, we built them right here, and they already make sense to be built in multiple places. And the reason for that is this area here, which is our pirate area, which of course we toured. This one here has got some docks in over there where I created a cool looking wall, which I thought had enough detail in it and looked good and represented the main kingdom in this area. And I think that makes sense to be putting in the main kingdom's area's docks. Because, I mean, we've got to follow the style, you know? You can't just have the same people building different styles all over the place. We can make some subtle changes, and I think that's all right. But mostly, I want to just keep true to what we've done, and here they are here. And what I really like about these, and why I like them better than just putting two poles and a floor, is this has got some detail in it. Look at that. These little pieces here. I love that shape, that arch. I love that that little bit of color in there. We might not go for the acacia, and this is where we're going to change things up a little bit, because of course this is in a tropical area, and I've gone a little bit tropical with a bit of the jungle wood and acacia wood, you know, and I think it's worth our while just to maybe step away from that and add in a few twists and turns around there. The other twist and turn is this over here. We've got ourselves a torch in there, which might very well be better off with one of these guys. So we've got a lot of testing to do, but this is where I'm getting my inspiration from. This, but maybe just a little bit different. So this is actually a good base for us to start with anyway, even though it's absolutely not what we're doing. It has got a good bit of space where we could, for instance, put a crane on here, maybe, to take stuff off a ship. I don't know. I haven't even thought about what we could be putting on there. I've had a few things that obviously pop up into my brain, which I've done in the past. Cranes, they seem to make sense because they taking stuff off ships. We also got, for instance, a bunch of barrels, maybe a little bit of a working area. There's a lot of little things which we can put on there. And of course, as we go, we're going to come up with more ideas, but those are the ones I'm thinking of right now. This over here is what I am thinking about, where we could probably do with some change, some innovation, of course, and that is with this cyan clay. And the problem is with cyan clay, this is the big problem, all right? This is my biggest problem of the day. Cyan clay looks too good in all situations. It's just the best block for so many things. So if we just do this here, let's just place that up there. This is going to be our base for the color of this place. I'm thinking maybe we could change out a block or two. So for instance, this one and maybe the wood trim on that other piece, which you'll see what I'm talking about, where I said it was super tropical like a minute ago. I'm thinking maybe we could change that out for spruce or dark oak and see how that all goes together. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead, take a picture of that place over there and try and copy it over the best I can with maybe 1 or 2 little changes around there. Okay, I'm starting and I'm already realizing that I've missed a spot there, but don't worry. That's just how we're gonna do it. I'm gonna end up anyway changing this now that I'm thinking about this. So here it is, kind of, a little bit, because I've got it wrong, but don't worry, ignore that. So here's my thoughts from looking at this piece here, which is almost identical to what we built on the other side. Maybe a few blocks that need to be changed out, but what I do like is this jungle, and I know it sounds weird, but the jungle would actually looks good. It adds a little bit of color to the place, and I think it would be very boring with just the spruce. I do have it here if I want to give it a go. We might give it a go, maybe. We'll see. But what I do see, and even though there is that one, see that block there? Okay, before I don't point it out, that block there is a wall. Right over there, there should be one, but I forgot to put it in. But what I think would be quite a lot better is to maybe just remove this piece here. So cut that whole piece out, put that over there, and let this go for a bit of a longer wall. So instead of it being 7 blocks wide, we make it like a little bit wider there. And that would make it look a lot longer. For instance, these docks wouldn't have, well, the docks wouldn't have this repeating here, and then again, and then again. It would repeat like that, and then repeat like that, which I think would give the illusion of it being a bit longer. The other cool thing is, with us going a little bit wider, we could go up, and going upwards a little bit would mean the dock would probably end at around that height there, which is quite tall and might be a problem compared to those. But that height there means that the docks would look a lot more grand and a lot larger, and I think that's what I'm going for here. So that could also be a very good idea. So these are my thoughts, and I think they should work quite well. I've also got some things to test out. Thing number 1 to test out is, let's remove that. In fact, this is 2 in 1. We're gonna put a spruce log in around there like that, because that's just gonna be color. And then we're gonna put in this lantern over there, and we'll just, we'll put one of those there. All right, so how does this look? Flip around. Okay, maybe that color, no, it's not the color, it's the texture going horizontal and the texture going vertical. So that's just the only problem there, but that's not a big deal. I like this a lot better than I like the jungle. So there is a good change. And also that piece over there, the lantern, I think it just doesn't work as good as the normal torch, weirdly enough, which I never thought I'd say. I thought these were going to be my new go-to for everything, but really, I'll be honest, the torch does work a little bit better. I think it's a little bit taller, like there. In fact, I can't do this, right? I always think I can, but I can't. Let me just try to put this on the top. Oh, I can't. Okay, that changes things. We'll put this one in here because I think this is also going to be the choice ultimately. Let's check it out. It is still a little too low. I think it just means it's got that piece on the top. All right, so that is going to be a torch. I'm cool with that. That's something I'm happy with. And as for some of the other blocks, I'm going to switch over the spruce. Let's go have a look at that. All right, so the next change was the spruce, and oh, I do like that quite a lot. I don't know. Do we keep the, I think we keep the spruce. As much as I said I do like the color that jungle was bringing through, we can always go back to it, but I think this just adds so much more. And by the way, I'm talking about the planks, not the logs. The jungle logs definitely don't work here, but these planks maybe work a little bit better than the jungle. But you know what I'm gonna do? When I have completely changed this up completely, I'll give the jungle another try, because I'm not yet gonna give up on it. I still have hope for it. I think I am actually happy with this. Prepare yourselves. Bam. Look at that. It's got a little bit of a problem, and it's not a big problem, but I'll show you what's going on with that. But right around here, I'm happy with the overall shape of it. It's a lot longer. And what I'm thinking, because I was looking back at what that piece that we just had, the short piece, looked like, and I do quite like that. So what I think we'll do is we'll do this piece, then we'll do that short piece in there, because that's only going to go to around about there. Then we'll do another one of these pieces in there. Even maybe we could make this maybe 2 blocks shorter, but I really think it's all right. I think it's good for what we need it for. And I guess the other thing that we have to think about, that's a bit of an overshot, okay? The other thing we have to think about is also the fact that we don't want it too busy, because if we're going to be putting in a ship and then putting in a whole bunch of other stuff, when we have too many angles, for instance, say it just keeps cutting in and we have little pieces, little piece, little piece, little piece, it's just going to look way too over the top, and I think that's going to really ruin the whole look of this area. So some places we can be a bit busy. Maybe we'd be a little bit more plain on this one. So that's my thought, at least the excuses that I'm giving for not going too crazy on this. But what I do want to do here, let's just remove a few more of these blocks. And I want to test out a few colors because this is going to dictate where I'm going to be gathering materials from right now, because I do quite like the clay. So I'm going to have to grab a lot of clay, but I want to give, well, sorry, hardened clay. This is normal clay, and I want to test out this clay, but I'm definitely going to grab more hardened clay. I've really thought about using clay in a lot of builds for quite some time now, and I thought, you know what, let's just give it a go. If it works, fantastic, I find a spot for it. If not, let's just do that. Let's just hold our head to the side. I kind of like it, but it might be a bit too light. Let's just go a little bit further back. You know what? I'm actually just thinking about this. This is going to blow your mind, but I think a clay brick might be the block that this game needs. Could you imagine this clay? It's like a little bit of a blue. You wouldn't notice it actually, but clay is slightly blue when it's not next to blue water, but that little bit there, imagine that with a brick texture on it. That would look so good. You could use it for making castles that are sort of like white castles and stuff like that without having to go all gray. Although I do think this doesn't quite work. I was going to put in the green, although that definitely is not worth it. The gray concrete would make it just a little too dark. And you know what? Then we're just left with the good old faithful block of the cyan clay. There's nothing that's going to beat that. Cyan hardened clay is still the best block. Excuse me, cyan terracotta. I'm living in the past. That's definitely the block we need. So I thought I'd quickly throw together a few other ideas, and I took a few minutes just to go ahead and put in a ship and some docks. And I think these look a little bit better than what we currently have. I'm kidding. This is my old world. I just thought I'd maybe mess around a little bit. But I would want to come here for a particular reason. You know what, before I do carry on, this horse was spinning, and I didn't want to comment on it, but it was just sitting there spinning around in circles, but I was too committed to messing around with this. But right here, these are my old docks, and I want to just come here to show myself, and of course everyone else, what we have to work from and what we've done in the past, and where I think we could probably improve a lot more. It's incredibly low, and I would like to bring it up to make these feel more grand. I think that would have been a big bonus to this if we had these feeling a lot more grand. The other thing is where we are going a little bit different. Oh wait, got a lighter on. Okay, that was weird. I was expecting to fall and it just kept going in slow motion. Let's just reset there. The other one is over here. We've got these pillars holding it up, which aren't bad, but I think we can do a lot more with having a solid base and working the walls in. And that's where I'm planning on going in with these, of course. And of course, if you don't know where this is not in the same world as what we were just in. This is my previous survival world. And it's also quite cool just to come around every now and then and do a little bit of a flyover. Can I do this? There we go. Beautiful, wonderful. So yeah, this is my old survival world. And of course, we've done a lot of stuff here, but I thought I'd come around, say hello, hey, how's it going world? And then we'll just head back to our normal world. And just like that, we're already back in the normal world again. And I did actually get a bit carried away. Not quite as carried away as I was messing around with, but I've gone ahead, put this piece in, put that piece in over there, and I did a little bit of the floor just to see how things were working. And I'm really liking this. Tell me what you think. I'm actually very, very happy with the way it's turning out. In particular, the thing that maintains the same is this piece here. We've extended that and we've built this piece on here. But having this little one and then a big one, and then of course we've got the corner one, I think we've got a good variety of what we are going to be working with. I think that's a pretty solid thing to have got out the way. Although I don't know how many more docks like this we're going to build, but of course we definitely will have one of those long ones around there, and maybe another one going in that way around that corner. So there's still a lot where this rule goes into place. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I guess realistically, it's creating a rule where we have a few different things and we can just slap each one in when we need it. It's very, very cool. So the thing that I did want to test out, and yeah, let's just mess that ender pearl up real quick, and boom, I think that's it. That's going to land all the way on the grass. We're going to have to go back. There we go. So the thing that I wanted to test out was some jungle wood, which I had. Where is it? Oh, there it is. I was going to say, I most certainly checked before I started this that we had jungle wood, and we do, of course. So there we go, and we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, 6 will be enough. if these don't work, we're not going to use these for a very long time. So it's worth our while definitely testing them out very sparingly. So let's go there and... Okay, yeah, this is one of those where they on the awkward half slab. And not only that, it's also the fact that we've got the half slabs in there, so we can't even mess around with them properly. So let's do that there and add the corner. I think the corner is all we really need. And the main thing is, by the way, the reason why I'm adding this in, and I know it seems like a silly move because, well, Junglewood tends to be a bit more on the ugly side. But the reason I want to try it is because I want to try it. Because so often I just land up slapping in normal brown blocks and we don't have too many choices besides brown blocks and gray blocks. And sometimes just adding these different colors in really brightens the place up a bit. All right, so what I'm getting from this is it definitely looks good with the brown. I don't think that the jungle is the worst. I certainly don't think it's the best, but it makes me wonder what birch looks like. I know it's a very big step up, but I think the birch color, the very light yellow color, may be what we need to brighten the area up. I've been using birch for a lot of things recently, and it's been turning out just right. Now, it kind of hurts me to say this, but I don't know whether it fits in here. I think I'm maybe trying to force it a little bit, maybe too much, but I don't mind it. Maybe, you know what? Maybe oak, but I'm not going to go change it again. I think what we really need to wait for now is when we, for instance, put in the cranes and the ships and all those things that break it up. Because the thing is, of course, building this to look cool by itself is one thing. Oh, dang it. That was because I threw it through the water. There we go. That's good. The thing is, over here, let me just step right over here. This is a good little angle. This over here is going to be hidden because we might have a ship over here, which is going to come up this high. And it really doesn't matter what color that is too much besides from the other angle. So that's where it's going to change. But I think the safe option, which is the better option, because of course we get all the builds in. If the safe option works, we keep it. If not, we just change it. We'll put the spruce in. So we'll make that all spruce. Now, my thought is, how are we going to fit this whole dock together now? We need a layout for it because of course this strip over here is going to work. We're going to do a little bit of a corner there, but I just need to show myself where it's going to start, where it's going to end, and maybe put down a few little planning bits. For instance, the crane, which I've mentioned a few times. I want to do a few of them. I think they look really good. I've maybe messed around a little bit in a creative world because I had some cool ideas, and I call them cool ideas because, well, they're cool ideas and they worked really, really well. So I'm looking forward to building that piece in here, but that's not going to be today because that's a whole other story. But I think I've really got one of the coolest cranes, at least I've seen in survival. All right, this is going to make you feel super uneasy. It does. I don't know, maybe it's just me, but this makes me feel so uneasy, right? So break this, boom, cobblestone. Break this, 2 smooth half slabs. It just feels so weird. I should be getting cobblestone, and every time I do, my brain says, hey, yeah, there we go. Let's pick up our cobblestone slab. Wait, what? Not slabs? Are you kidding me? It freaks me out. It really does. It's just, I've gotten too used to having normal stone, at least when I haven't been using a silk touch pickaxe for a while, breaking in cobble, and then it throws me off too much. Let's quickly head up here. I'm not very good without ender pearls. I was very smart and didn't replace them, so we kind of stuck. Here we go. We made it. So right around there. That's what I'm thinking right now. Of course, we're going to make this a lot larger, but I don't want to just go out there before we do the rest of the stuff. I'm aiming to make these docks my best docks I've ever made, and of course that requires a lot of detail and a lot of little things. So if we get a bit carried away and go too far that way, having to fit stuff in, because I'll admit, I'm going to get lazy if I go too far that way, and then I'm going to be like, well, you know, maybe we just keep the space and build something else, because it does make sense, because it would take so long we could have done 5 other things. So before we do that, what I want to do is I want to go ahead and get some more detail in here and then push out that way, because of course we've got the rule. We just play the rule down that way if we have to. Whoa, I didn't realize I could hit that from there. So that's the idea, and of course there's where we could be putting 2 cranes. Potentially, who knows? They might go there, they might go further up in the back there, I don't know. But for today though, I do think that is the whole episode, and a good one at that. It's a good base, you know what I mean? It's a solid base for the future. But either way, I am glad that we've done these, and I'm glad that they've turned out very well. So thank you very much for joining me here today, and I will see you in the next one.